it seems like no matter what songs I play, you guys love them.
Amen.
And I know I say that frequently, but I mean, you really do. It's amazing. And it's,
You're just good at picking them out.
no, I'm not really that good at picking them out. But sometimes it's preordained, though, I think, because some of them tie in a lot of times with the sermon or something else. But you know, the singing, I love the singing. And Carol says to me a lot of times, she'll go, "Oh, you Protestants, all you want to do is sing and you'll wear me out." and you go to the Catholic Church and they sing one or two songs, you know, but it's never like the way we do it. We have a long worship service, and folks, if it was up to me, we'd sing all morning because I love it, and I can't sing, but if I play it loud enough, you guys can't hear how bad I really am. You only hear the good parts, because there's a lot of times when I go right down to nothing because the voice is cracking or whatever. But I love the song service. I really do. And it over the years, I couldn't count the number of times that maybe I wasn't having the best day going, but yet once the song service ended, I was floating in the clouds with Jesus. I mean, I just love the song service. And but the one song we did, there's a whole bunch of them I could talk about, but the one song, and this is all free of charge. This isn't even the communion meditation because that's pretty short today. But in He Reigns, it says something about the powers of darkness can't drown out a single word when we're praising God. And the devil cringes when we're singing our brains out here. He really does. He hates it. And you're sticking your finger right in his eye when you're singing away. Because, you know, when you're singing away, I know you're into it. You know, and you may be into it even when you're holding back and all, but you're really into it when you're letting loose and just singing. And I want you to think of that next Sunday. You're poking the devil right in the eye when you do that. And there's nothing better than that. There's nothing more fun than that. So, but anyway, the communion meditation today, I read something, and it was about this little girl. And she walked up to her dad, and she said, "Dad, I want a nickel. Give me a nickel." And so he reached into his pocket, and he pulled out his wallet, and he thought, "I'm going to do something really good today." And he gave her a $5 bill. He tried to hand her a $5 bill. And she looks at him like he's nuts, and she goes, "I don't want that. I want a nickel." Because she didn't realize what that $5 bill really was, how many nickels that really was. And I want you to think about this. How many times in your life has you asked God for a nickel, and God wanted to hand you a $5 bill, but you turned your back on it because you couldn't see what He could see. He saw the blessing. He saw something big going to happen because of what you prayed about, but you didn't. You wanted it done your way rather than the way God wanted, and God wanted to dump a pile of blessing on you, and yet you turned your back on it and walked away because it wasn't the way you thought it should be. And that little girl was insane giving up a $5 bill for a nickel, but she didn't realize the value of what was really there. And in Psalm 111, verse 5, it says, He provides food for those who fear Him. He remembers His covenant forever. And He made the promise long, long, long ago to Abraham. And we are all children of Abraham. And that He would bless us. All we have to do is follow and obey and do. And when He throws those blessings out, a lot of times we don't even see them. Because we have our blinders on, and we're so focused on what we want that there's so much more around it that is ours. He wants to give it to us, but yet we don't take it. And I know every one of you, and myself included, all of us have passed up those blessings so many times just because we have like the blinders on, like the Amish horses are wearing when they're running down the road, so they don't see anything to the right or the left. And that's what we're focused on, what we want and how we want it. And so we need to be much more open-minded and be able to look all around at the blessings when we're asking for something, because so many times there's so much more there than what we're asking for, but we're not reaching out to take it. And the thing that I read, it said, a lot of times he will bless us beyond our wildest imaginations. But we're just not reaching out there and grabbing all that's there. So think about that over the course of the next week or so. And when you get those opportunities, grab them all. Don't just grab for that little nickel. Take the $5 bill all the way. So join me in prayer. Lord, you are just so mighty and awesome and great and powerful and loving and forgiving. And you are the one and only true God. And we are so fortunate that you care about us. So fortunate that you sent your Son for us. So fortunate that we will spend eternity with you. As bad as things can be at times in our lives, we know that if we follow you, that you are right there with us, and we will win the prize at the end of the race. Lord, put your hand on each and every one of these folks that are here this morning. I know there's so many issues going on in everybody's lives, and sometimes we see that nickel, and we're asking for that nickel, and you want to give us that $5 bill. You want to put up the biggest smile ever on our face, and so many times we just don't see it. Help us to open our eyes and to see it, and to know what you're offering us, and to grab it and to receive all the blessings that go with it. Lord, put your hand on everybody that's not here this morning for whatever reason, on all these folks that are on our prayer list, on our church here, Lord. Help it to thrive, help it to grow, help us to touch the hearts of those around us, all the people in the neighborhood and in our county and our state and in our nation. And Lord, help us as Christians to reach out and touch the lives of others in every chance we get. And Lord, bless the school that's here, and especially bless all the folks that are here this morning. Keep your hand on Rod as he gives the message, and help him to put to words what the message that you have for us to receive. Lord, thank you for all you give us. We ask everything in Jesus' name. Amen. Folks, would you come forward?